everyone, welcome to a new episode of Project Analysis Series. Today we will be analysing SORA. You know where that is?
Jurong. Yes, so, hi everyone. So as you can see from us behind, today we are going to talk about SORA, and this is the in-depth analysis that we are going to talk about, which means that we are going to go through all the stacks, the layouts, the facing, the projected prices. What do you think are the top choices that you can be buying? It's very different from the rest of videos that we are doing. That is a bit more, not so in-depth. This is, we are really going in to cover every single detail.
The previous video also quite in-depth. Everything is very in-depth.
Okay, but this one really we spent a lot of time and hours in terms of the research and analysis, and I think it will be very, very useful if you are looking to maybe thinking of looking at SORA. If you are like placing a check or you are going to the SHOWFLAT, you are thinking to buy a unit, a 1-bedroom to 5-bedroom, depending on yourself, you can actually look through this video to understand what are the things that you want to take note and what are the very minor details that you want to take note to make sure that your investment or your own stay purchase is a good one. Yeah.
Correcto. Okay, let's start. Where's SORA?
So you can see very clearly, it shows that we are right in front of the lake. So SORA is actually the second plot of land that is actually at the lake area, as you can see from here.
Located next to the Lake Garden residence, right?
So
it's
the SORA is actually here, this one. You can see this is a bit big. So there's only 3 plots of land available here. One is SORA, one is Lake Garden, and one more is not en bloc yet. The rest of the areas will not be having any condos. So you want direct access to the lake, only 3 plots. So SORA is one of them.
There's an EC nearby Lake Life, but of course they don't have direct access to the Lake Gardens itself. Alright? Okay, so project info, some basic project info. There's about 440 units ranging from the 1+ study to 5-bedroom with private lift. Estimated TOP will be when? 2031. So that's a good, wow, how many years is that?
I think 2028 we can expect the TOP. So 31 is actually the legal completion date. So 2028, which is about
4 years from now.
4 years. So sometimes you will be half a year, 1 year faster. So you're expecting about 3 to 4 years to collect keys. So that's for SORA. Okay.
Proximity to primary school, we have a few within 1 kilometer. As you can see, Lakeside Primary, and within the 1 to 2 kilometer, we'll have various few schools. The most reputable one will be Rulang Primary.
Yep. I think Rulang is one of the famous ones. In terms of school-wise, I don't think we are going too in-depth because we do not have very famous school around. But we have did some research last time to understand that actually schools doesn't mean that you will higher profit. So school doesn't guarantee you higher profit, but having a school will help you sell easily. So every projects, every condos, there will be some attribute that you look at. So the main attribute is important because what is the selling point of the project is important. So the main attribute about SORA is actually the lake area, which means that we are talking about nature, we are talking about when you go home, you feel comfortable, you like the view, all these things. So that is where we want to put focus on. So like for example, if my main attribute is near school, then my block need to be within the 1 click. But if my main attribute is not near school, then that is not what I'm concerned about. So this one, my main attribute is the view. So I might be thinking, if I want to buy a unit here, maybe I should be focusing those that's having the good view. But also have to depend on the price gap difference.
And also have got to depend on your intention, whether you are looking for something investment worthy or you are looking into something for your own stay purpose, right? So let's head on to the site plan and also distribution chart. Site plan wise, you can see over here, so the lake view will be over here, this part, and majority to be looking out. This will be the lake view. And over here, this part over here, will be the HDB blocks. So SORA itself, right, we have the higher blocks on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, we have got the lower tier.
So here is 12th story, here is 20th story. You can see one tall, one short. Very, very obvious. So the key thing is what? The key thing is that estimated about 78% of the units are facing the lake, which means that they actually fully utilize this, which is what I mentioned just now. What is the main selling point of this development is the lake view, the nature that we are talking about. Because Lake Garden is actually natural lake. So a lot of people would like to be facing there.
Yep. And majority of the lake view facing right are mostly the bigger units, from the 3 to the 5. The smaller units are generally on the HDB facing side.
So you can see from this block there's only 2 stacks, and this block 2 stacks that is facing the HDB. And here 1 stack, 1 stack. So these are all 1 plus study and 2 bedroom. Total only 6 stacks that is facing the HDB side. So the rest are mainly facing the lake. But there's also some good lake view and some bad lake views. For example, if you see this unit, your master bedroom go out, you will actually see the unit in front. So we will go through in depth later on. Okay?
Alright, next on, we have the unit mix. In terms of the unit mix, right, you can see that generally the main focus will be where the big part of it will be the 2 bedroom and as well as the 2 plus study unit. The least in supply will be your 1 plus study and also your 4 and 5 bedroom. In fact, there is only 2 stack each.
Yep. So the main bulk is actually the 2 and 3, which is quite commonly seen. As you can see on the right side is actually the maintenance fee. You can see that the maintenance fee is generally a bit higher than the market. And this is one of the things that later we will discuss to see whether paying such maintenance will be a big problem for us. Because of course nobody will want to pay high maintenance, right? But if the maintenance fee is too low, it's also a problem. So later on we are going to go into that. So now we are going to the 1 plus study and the layout first.
Yes, for the 1 plus study, there is no 1 bedroom over here. There is only 1 plus study. So let's go through the layout because this layout is actually very interesting. I think it has been a while since I've seen this kind of layout. So right over here, we have the kitchen, then dining area, and then living area. But you can see over here, the main selling point of actually this unit type is that it have an extremely big master bedroom. So if you want to, you can actually enclose this part up. You do like a foldable door kind of thing, where you get to have your own very nice study space. If not, you can actually open up this bifoldable door in order to have a very wide bedroom type.
So which means that you do not do a fixed wall, which is you do something that can enclose, can open. Why do I want to do that? Because it means that when I enclose it, I have a proper study, and let's say your spouse or whichever is sleeping, you still can do your work. Because you have access to get out of the room by a balcony. So you do not need to go through the master again and again just to get something that is good. But if you are not working, maybe normal days that you are not needing the study, you can open up and you can enjoy the very big master bedroom. So which means that the study area can be utilized as a dressing table instead. So there's a lot of use that you can use it, which I think
you can play around.
Is good because you can play around. Rather than you have a small study corner, some of them, they actually cut the study into like a place that's beside the kitchen. Then you can't really do much things there. You don't know what you're going to use it for.
There is also some where, they put the study outside the toilet. Like for example, Sterling Residence 2 plus study, where they put outside. So it's a bit not to the fullest usage of it, right? Then over here, we have a balcony. Okay, the only downside about this balcony is that for this certain facing, right, it's all blocked because there's only two stack over here. Yeah, it's blocked. There isn't any view to begin with, so your only view, right, will be this way. Yeah. However, this 1 plus study unit type, right, only have 1 facing, like what we mentioned earlier, only faces the HDB. So we do expect in terms of the PSF, it may be one of the lowest in the entire development.
Yeah, and there is only 36 units in terms of the 1 plus study itself. So which means that there is also very little supply that we are talking about. But let me just highlight to you, this layout is actually very, very good for own stay use. Because why? Because a lot of flexibility that you can do. You got quite a huge living room because the kitchen is actually pushed at one side. So 538 is actually very, very well utilized. But what is the setback? The setback is that 538 size, when you want to rent out, your rental yield will be affected because later we will show you actually 1 plus study and 1 bedroom will not have the same will have the same rental that you're talking about, but you will not have the same purchase price. You actually maybe purchase easily about 100,000 more, 150,000 more because of the size difference. If you talk about the 1+ study and 1 bedroom, because typically 1 bedroom we are talking about 400 to 470 square feet. So if you add a 60 square feet multiplied by 2,000 plus, it's about $130,000. So that's the thing. I pay $130,000 more, but I'm not getting higher rental. That's the problem that we will be facing. So you can see next, we can see from here.
We took Lake Grande as an example. So this Lake Grande, this development itself, there is also 1 bedroom, as you can see, and also the 1+ study, right? In terms of the rental, the 1 bedroom itself hovers around 3,007. But you can see that even for the 1+ study, it does not necessarily get equal amount of rental as well. And this is the challenge over here if you wish to buy a 1+ study in SORA as a form of investment. It may not be the best option. But of course, we have a solution for you.
Yep. The key thing is what? The key thing you can see from here, 409, 474, same rental, same average rental. Here is 517, I'm blocking, you can see 517 is also the same. Maybe here is also even lower. So you can see very clearly, size does not really matter in terms of rental for 1 bedroom. So you have a big size is a setback for you, which what we are saying. If I buy the 1 bedroom and I want to rent out, my rental will suffer. So we will be thinking, if my rental is bad, can I sell a good price in future? That's one of the main concerns. That's why I was saying, this is a good unit for own stay unit, but it's not a good unit for in terms of investment or rental. If you want to do investment or rental in this unit, there's some small changes that you need to make, because here you can see 1+ study is rent out as an average of 3,005 but if a 2 compact in this vicinity is 4,002. So we want to see whether our 1+ study in terms of SORA, can it be converted into a 2 compact? If it can be converted into a 2 compact, I can rent out as a 4,002 rental, which means that I'm getting much higher rental. So very clearly, if I want to own stay, I keep it originally. If I want to rent out, I convert. So now we will see. Now Joy will explain to you whether we can convert. So this is actually the layout again.
So this is a quick idea for you. If you are intending to, due to budget constraint, you can only go for the 1+ study, right? How should you convert this 1+ study layout into a 2-bedroom compact, a 2-bed 1 bath? In fact, there is no 2-bed 1 bath in SORA itself. The smallest 2-bedroom is actually 2-bed 2 bath. Okay. So what you can do over here is this part. You can convert it into become a proper bedroom. That's idea number 1. So you have 1 bedroom and you have the 2nd bedroom over here, where you both will get access to your toilet itself, right? And both will access to the balcony.
Yep. So when you do that, you can actually utilize it into become a 2 compact. But of course, the living dining area will be a bit slightly darker, but of course, key thing is that we have 2 proper rooms, because this living area, you can still fit in quite a good size. I mean, if you put in a single bed, I think you still can put in a side table or maybe a small wardrobe. But if you put in a queen size, maybe it's just nice that it fits everything. The main thing is that this we can switch. That is important, because if my property cannot switch, I only target on 1 group of buyers. But in this sense, I have many groups of buyers. I have buyers who want own stay. I have buyers who want rental. If I want to buy, I have budget constraint, but I like this area. I want to buy for own stay. I'm concerned whether I can sell such a big 1 bedroom, right? I buy, I stay first. When I want to sell, I convert. I convert, I rent out, then I sell. So I convert, I get a high rental, then I sell with tenancy. So this is what you can actually do for the 1+ study in SORA itself. And one key thing that just now Joy mentioned, very, very important, there's no 2 compact in SORA. Okay? So when we want to do conversion of layout conversion is something that is good but not fit every project. Because if I want to do a 1+ study to a 2 compact and there's 100 units of 2 compact in this development, it does not work because I'm competing with them. But now I have no 2 compact in this development, which means that when I convert, I might be the only few that's on rental, which means that I will fill up the gap. Let's say 2 premium, 5,000 rental. If I got a 2 compact, I want 4,003, 4,004, definitely is easily achievable because there is no units in this development that fit into this price range plus got 2-bedroom. Yeah.
So what you're saying is you need to leverage on developers' unique mix to create your own unique type so that you can get the kind of rental, potentially cheaper, but still at a very good rate.
Yes, so in terms like knowing what the developer have, what they don't have, so that we create something out for our development. Like actually Jayden, they do not have 3 compare, so we actually use the 2 premium to make it into a 3 compare, you know, things like that. So these are the things that's
Actually,
important.
if I can, let me share with you something that I actually went to Principal Garden recently. Then all the bigger 2-bedroom, right, is all dual key. The biggest 2-bedroom is all dual key. There is one particular unit, they remove the dual key side, they combine it to an extremely huge 2-bedroom, and my client loved it so much. And that is the one and only unit for sale.
Yes.
I did saw this idea came to life when I went to Principal Garden. Yeah, so it was great because the 3-bedroom was too high a budget for them to commit. So I really love this idea.
Then your client will sure ask you, got other unit that is the same or not?
Don't have already. And this might be potentially one of their shortlisted unit, to be frank.
Yes, so if there is nothing else they can buy, they will high chance pay a higher price for it. So that's the thing. Also, you must know how to actually play around.
So in terms of rental, okay, we are also a bit concerned if there is a lot of 1-bedroom in this unit in this estate, we will have a lot of competition, right? Because we do see that happening in some areas, especially right now the rental market is a bit unstable. So this particular example, we're going to show you, we actually did a very thorough research on the entire District 22, which is a Jurong area. So what I have highlighted here, basically this space over here, is the entire D22. Okay, here we give you an overview of the total number of units of 1 and also 1 plus study. There's only 553, right? It may seem maybe a lot to some, but I want to show you how many units is available for sale right now. Actually, only 22. Okay, and to put it in a perspective for you, we actually took a near neighborhood district, which is District 21. District 21, you see, is so small as compared to my entire District 22. But in terms of supply, District 21 have double the supply and even more than double the demand.
But just to emphasize, of course, we don't take the whole place because you know these are Tuas, all these. District 22 are still bigger than 21. 22 is about this size. But you must understand the key thing, 22 is one of the largest estate in Singapore, okay, in terms of HDB. But only 553 1-bedroom, okay? In terms of unit for sale, only 4%, which means that healthy. Why I say healthy? Because most of the owner do not want to sell.
Actually, Alex, some project itself, right, the number of units is more than 553 already.
Yeah, possible. I mean, that's true. But in Jurong, there is not a lot of 1 and 1 plus study. But another key thing that is highlight here is that only 4% is selling. So which means that a lot of owners want to keep. So there bound to be some reason why they want to keep.
And very good rental.
For us, we know this because Jurong got very good rental. So if you are owner, you buy a property, every month you're collecting good rental, why would you want to sell, right? I mean, that's one thing. So coming to D21, you can see 966 units of 1-bedroom and 1 plus study. And 11% is on sale, 102 units is on sale. I'm not saying 21 is not good, but I'm saying as a 1-bedroom, I would definitely think buying in D22 is actually a safe choice. Why?
Right.
Because supply is low. And supply is low because we know that there's only 4% on sale and there's only 500 over units. And demand is high. How do I know demand is high? Demand is high, I base on this. Actually, this amount, 11%, 4%, it can be because a lot of owners is selling, one thing. And second is, a lot of owners is selling and they can't sell. So the unit accumulate. So there's no demand, no buyers. So very clearly to see these two stats, 1-bedroom in D22, low supply, high demand. Comparing to our neighboring D21. Okay, that is a very clear indication you can see.
But D21, frankly, is also not very known for having high rental yield.
Correct. So, I mean, these are the two things that we want to gauge. So, I definitely would think that buying in D22 for 1 bedroom would be a good option because rental is actually quite stable and you won't have gap that there's no rental. But
Correct.
of course, we have to come down to the prices also.
So how do we determine, what's a safe entry price given the very limited supply over there, right? How we're going to determine this is that we're going to use pricing within Lake Garden itself. So Lake Garden, they have got HDB facing, they also have got lake facing, right?
Yeah, so you can see here very clearly, Lake Garden and SORA have a very similar strategy. The good units are all facing the lake and right front facing lake. Then the 2 bedroom, the 3 bedroom are facing lake but it's slanted. Or then some of the smaller units are facing the HDB side. So the very good units are all the best lake facing, which is later very similar to SORA, we will show you. But that's why we are going to take a comparison in terms of the 1 bedroom prices versus the 4, because you'll see very different price strategy here. Most of the project we know, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom will definitely be higher per square foot than the 4. But in Lake Garden, it's different. That's why we are going to take a comparison from Lake Garden to understand SORA, because I feel there will be a same strategy that they are taking. So now we can see from here.
Yep. So for the 1 bedroom, stack 3, if I go to go back, so what we're going to do next, right, is that we're going to take this, which is the 1 bedroom pricing, or rather the HDB view versus a stack 8, the lake view, to understand the differences. So over here, we have actually tiered it in different level. We have got the low floor unit, we have got the mid floor unit, and also we have got a high floor unit. In terms of facing, you can see that developer price it very differently, right? So let's take a look at the low floor one first. So for the low floor, you can see a HDB facing unit, the price is hovering close to 2,000 PSF. But for the lake facing unit, it's actually 2,001. The gap is 5.5, which means the HDB facing and also the lake facing on the low floor, there is a huge price difference. And so Alex, how do we use this 5.5% to gauge what is a good unit to buy in SORA on the low floor?
Okay, so why I'm using this, because I do not want to use like Lake Garden is selling at 2,000 for low floor. SORA, if you buy a 1 bedroom at 2,000 low floor, you are safe. Because I think two products, even though side by side, is a very different thing. And you see the facade, everything is very different. So I definitely would like to take in terms of how do I gauge whether I'm buying at a safe price. I use the difference in the facing prices as a gauge from SORA. So why do I have second floor, 10th floor and 17th floor? Because you can see the gap is all different in different floor. Why? Because the price jump is different. In Lake Garden, it's a bit different. From what I understand, the best stack for the 4 bedroom and 5 bedroom, the price jump can be up to a certain level. Per floor is 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, 50. So the higher you go for the 4 bedroom, the higher the per square foot. You can see here very clearly, from here, from the 10th floor, here is 2171, to 17th floor, you see the 4 bedroom become higher than the 1 bedroom. Why? Because the 4 bedroom have a bigger jump. Later you see the 2 bedroom is even worse, the gap. Because 1 bedroom PSF is typically still higher. But how do we gauge whether SORA, how do we buy? Because we want to use this as a gauge. Because this video is actually for you all to, when you all go to the balloting, you all not kanchong lah, you all got write down all the notes, and you all go in, you all see the price, you all compare, then you all know can buy or cannot buy lah. So in terms of the second floor in HDB view and lake view, for 1 bedroom, there's a 5.5 gap, which means that HDB view 1 bedroom is 5.5% cheaper in terms of per square foot than the 4 bedroom. So if you go to SORA, if the gap is within 5% to 6%, which means that it's almost the same, then I mean, would be safe to actually go in. Okay. If it's 6% and above, which means that 6, 7, 8, 9%, the higher it go, the gap, the safer it is to buy a 1 bedroom, because which means that I'm cheaper but if the gap fall below 5, then you need to think whether should I buy a 1 or should I look at the 2. Then later we'll do the 2 bedroom comparison. Then you can see, you can gauge by yourself. Of course, that is down to you having the budget to actually do it Okay. So in terms of 10th floor, why do we put a red? Because the 10th floor, is actually more expensive than the one bedroom. So how do we gauge from here? Same thing. If we are within the range of negative 0.5 to maybe 1.1%, or this range, which means that what? Which means that if the one bedroom is 0.5% higher than the lake facing to 1% lower than the lake facing, you are safe to go in.
I wonder if anyone is confused out there.
You might be confused, but if you are confused, do reach out to us. We will be more than willing to help you. But if the lake HDB facing is 3% lower than the lake facing, 3% or more, then you will be very safe to actually enter for 10th floor unit. But if the HDB facing is more than 1% higher than the lake facing, then it's a bit dangerous to enter. So you might want to reconsider looking at the different floor, comparing the different stacks, what you want to enter. Okay. Then I do not want to actually go into the 17th floor. I think you all get what I'm trying to say. But if you all don't get it, you all can put it in the chat. We can actually answer you separately. These are just a guide. But do remember, very, very, very important, coming back here, you must compare the one bed to a good facing 4-bed. And to be very frank, SORA only have one stack of 4-bed that is having the best facing. So you do not have much of this problem that you are doing. But you do not take this and take the percentage, then later you go and compare 1 to a 3-bedroom. It doesn't make work that way. So next we are going into the two-bedroom.
Right, 2-bedroom layout. Okay, so for the 2-bedroom, we have 2-bedroom and also 2+ study. Let's focus on the 2-bedroom first. For the 2-bedroom, they have one thing in common, which is all HDB facing. And there are 2 different kinds of layout, as you can see here. We have got the B1, which is 464 square feet, right? And if you look at the layout itself, it's more of a dumbbell layout where you get an entrance. But very interesting here is that kitchen actually got a window. Seldom, right? I mean, these days really do not have this kind of window along the kitchenette. And then what is also awesome was that one of the bedroom, which is the master bedroom the master bathroom, also have a window which allows a lot of lights and also cross ventilation. Okay, the only downside is that the other bedroom over here don't have a window over here. So this layout, I think we have also covered before in terms of this layout, right? There's a love-hate relationship with this layout. The love part, what they love about this is that there is no wastage of space. But what they maybe don't like about this layout is that the lack of privacy, right? Because the moment you enter the house, you can actually look into your 2-bedroom. The next one will be 667 square feet. Okay, this is also a 2-bedroom, 2-bed, 2-bath layout. Same thing, the kitchenette, when you enter, you have a window over here. But what's the best is that both your bathroom have got window as well. Yeah. So can I say that this is actually a bit more better in terms of own stay? Will you prefer this layout in terms of own stay?
Yes, in terms of own stay, but in terms of investment, in terms of rental, I think the best choice is still 646. Because why? Because we will be purchasing at a lower price, definitely, because we have the same facing. So I will have higher rental yield. So just now we have shown you the size, a 2-bedroom 646 and a 2-bedroom 667, the rental will be the same, but you are purchasing at different prices. But coming back here, the price premium will be about 3.25% based on the difference of 21 square feet. So, in fact, in this scenario, what do you think, Joy?
I will still go for the 667 because the premium, right, is not a lot, okay? And for this 667 square feet, this B2 layout, you can again cater to a wider pool of buyer, like how you reconfigure your 1+ study earlier, right? For this B2 layout, we can cater to both the own stay and also the investment. The own stay would definitely prefer this more because all the bathroom comes with the window, moldiness, all this will not be an issue. And what's more, right, in terms of rental yield, I don't deny that this smallest 2-bedroom, the B1 layout will be better. However, because the premium is very little, so it's quite easy to reach this. I would prefer the B2 because it caters to 2 types of buyers, right?
Yes, so like we always mention, wider groups of buyers means wider groups of demand. More demand, price go up, as simple as that. So if you have very little supply, a lot of demand, price will go up. So there's only 36 units of this and 24 units, so total 60 units. So I would definitely think that, I mean, if you ask me, like what Joy had mentioned, this one higher percentage that we can make money. Why? Because let's say, just put an example, in the market we got 30 buyers who want to buy for own stay, 30 buyers who want to buy for investment. Here, this unit only have 30 buyers. This unit will have 60 buyers. Here maybe I have 40. Because why? Because some of buyers don't mind this layout or things like that. But bear in mind, very important, usually you make money from investment buyer, own stay buyer. So most of the time you will make money from own stay buyer because they are not buying through a lot of research, a lot of logical sense. So I want to buy investment, I want to buy at the best price possible. I want to buy own stay like what your client, the principal garden, go in, they like it. Will they buy best price possible? The chances are not high. I got a lot of clients, I say don't offer this price too high. They say I want because they like that place. So buying a property that plays into the heart of buyers is also important. So I mean, overall, this is still a good choice for us. Later we'll do a summary for you.
Yes.
Next we have the 2+ study. There's 2 types.
Okay, 2+ study. Let's take a look again at the floor plan first. Both are of the same size. In terms of floor plan, one very distinctive difference, or rather, let me start off from the entrance first. This kitchen do not have a window. So I think in terms, if we compare it with the 2-bedroom, it's a bit on the losing end, okay? And it's both dumbbell layout. The next very instant difference that you see from the 2-bedroom will be this. This is a bit similar to our 1+ study, right? So you have actually a very wide master bedroom. And thirdly, we have this balcony area. As you can see, for the B4 layout, the balcony is actually cut into half because the aircon latch eats into the space. Whereas for the B3 layout, it's perfectly fine. It's a normal balcony on its own. And also one more thing to point out for this 2+ study layout, again, if you can see, all the bathroom do not have window. So I'm a bit concerned because this may not cater to own stay people that much. That's why, I mean, in my heart, I would still prefer the 2-bedroom layout lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But of course, I would definitely say people buying for own stay, like I say, what is the main selling point here? I mean, it's said that the layout don't have all the things that we are looking for, but what is the main thing that we come to SORA?
View, right?
So the 2+ study, the 138 units all face the lake.
Yep.
So the lake is here. So it's all lake facing, but of course there's some better lake facing, some lousier one. So lake is the selling point of this project. So I would think for own stay buyers, next time when you want to resell, these are still the main focus point for people who want 2-bedroom. But I would prefer the B3S. Why? Because aircon latch here, which means that there's a good chance here is a half wall. Half wall, and here is the full sliding door. So you can see here 3 pieces, here 2 pieces. So what's the difference? Lake view, I want full frontage. I want as big view as possible. I want to see everything I can. If my view is not total, I will be cut by the aircon latch, all these things. Then you will affect.
But don't buy the big view, right?
You affect the price.
And one more thing, which is the 2+ study, because it's of a bigger size, as you can see, and what's more, is facing the lake. So we do expect also in terms of the quantum, it will be a bit of a jump between the 2-bedroom and also the 2+ study unit.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So we are going to go down to where is the first choice for, because 2+ studies is a lot. So on the launch day, what is the first choice? But of course, moving forward after the the choice unit are being sold, you can actually come to us. We can actually help you. So most of the time when we talk about all these things, because we really go through very fine details. So what I want to see, of course, B4S will not be my first choice. B4S will be my last choice. Okay, so this one I put it aside first. Coming back to actually the B3, now I show you why I choose this. I actually choose these two stack. Later we will tell you the stack. Why? Because you can see these two and these two will have total unblocked view. Because there's no unit in front. Here got this 3-bedroom in front. You saw? So total unblocked view means one thing. The price will definitely be higher. But this 2 unit will be what? It will be slightly blocked in the developer eyes. But if you really see the unit, actually you are not very blocked because this is the 2 units that we are talking about. So I will not be blocked. You see, my view will be total. I will not be blocked by this unit or this unit. But there's a good chance this unit will be cheaper. So it depends on how much cheaper. If you see, I would say more than a 50,000 discount comparing this to all these units, then this is definitely the top choice already. Okay, so now we go back to our choices in terms of the 2-bed. 1-bedroom we did not do any choices because there is
no choice.
No need 2 units.
But before we get to that, okay, I think let's also cover if you are buying for investment purpose, in terms of rental yield, will there be a significant difference between buying the 2 or the 2+ study for rental, like what we did earlier for the 1-bedroom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so same, we use the Lake Grandeur development to show you that in terms of rental yield. So Lake Grandeur again itself, they have got the 2-bedroom over here, and also the 2+ study. You can see over here, the 2-bedroom got 4,007 kind of rental, but in terms of the 2+ study is 4,008, which is a gap of $80, right? But in terms of the entry price, can you see this is 721 and this is 818. So Alex, you want to do a quick math for me?
So it's a 100 square feet difference. I mean, if we based on Lake Grandeur prices, it should be about 1,003, there about 1,004. So it's about 140,000 difference, 130,000 difference for the same rental. But if 100 square feet difference for SORA, it's 200 over 1,000 difference. So, but if we gauge the size of a 2 and a 2+ study, just now what we mentioned, 667 and 732 is about 60 plus square feet. So you are also paying about 130,000, 140,000 more easily for the 2+ study. Plus, the 2+ study have a premium view. So I predict there will be 150,000 difference.
Yeah. If you were to use your renter to actually close up this gap, it will take a relatively longer time. And what we see in this area, right, it's not only Lake Grandeur itself, Caspian is also the same. You can see the Caspian, the 2-bedroom and also the 2+ study over here. In terms of rental, it's just $100 apart.
And this one have a nice proper study. Only $100 apart. So in short, if you want to buy for rental, 2-bedroom, do not go for 2+ study. If you want to buy for own stay and you want to make a profit, because here we didn't say 2+ study actually make lesser than 2-bedroom. It's not saying that that's true, because there is a lot of cases that 2+ study actually do make more if they have a good layout, they have a good facing, they play into what we are talking about, like the main selling point of the project. Okay, so in terms of buying for rental, go for 2-bedroom for sure. Okay, so that's why we have a conclusion, which later we will come to you. But now we do place on some of the pricing strategies. Same thing. The HDB facing 2-bedroom and the 4-bedroom. So you can see the gap here. Okay.
It's very different from the 1-bedroom.
Yes. So the gap is in a way getting. So you can see very clearly. The 10th floor unit for 1 2-bedroom same. HDB facing and the lake facing gap is the smallest, which means that 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom, the mid-floor unit is the most expensive for HDB facing, which if you ask me, it doesn't make sense. So what I mean, if I want to buy 10th floor, I might as well buy 17th floor. If not, then I buy below. You get what I'm trying to say? So because the gap actually from wide becomes small and become wide again. For the 2-bedroom. For the 1-bedroom also have the same situation. So here, same thing you can see for low floor, the 4-bedroom lake facing is about 9.4% higher. So actually from here, this pricing strategy, it can work both ways. Why I say work both ways? You can use this for your 4-bedroom also. Why would I say that? Because it's very clear here. If I want to buy a 4-bedroom, would I buy a 2nd floor unit or 10th floor unit? Looking at this data, it's definitely 10th floor first. You all get what I'm trying to say? I wouldn't buy a 2nd floor because I'm paying so much more premium than the 1 and 2. Maybe I see 3s because there's the lake also got trees there. So I might as well buy the 10. If I have the budget, I buy the 17th floor. Of course, coming back, same thing, the gap. If the gap is different from what is happening in Lake Garden, then we need to reconsider our strategy. So coming back to the 2-bedroom, if you are buying the 2-bedroom and your gap is more than 9.4%, anything more, then you are even safer to get the 2nd floor unit. But if your gap is smaller, which means that it's between 7% to 8% or lesser, then maybe you want to see whether I want to get the 10th floor. So you have to gauge every different level, different floor, the gap to determine which is the safest choice for you to actually go in. But for the 2-bedroom, we actually did one more study because 2-bedroom got 2 types, got also lake facing one. So we did the HDB facing and lake facing. Same thing that we see here. Wow, the gap also, the higher floor you go, the smaller the gap. Do you see? So which means, very simple, if the gap is like that, same as for SORA, you have to go and calculate. If buy lake view, buy the highest you can, or mid floor, don't buy too low. If buy HDB view, buy the lowest you can. So in short, I just summarize for you. But of course, also depend on your luck, whether got units. But the biggest problem is what? Let's say I get the first 100 numbers, I go in, got so many units still available, and I don't know what to choose. So this is a guide for you to actually choose your 2-bedroom, okay?
I think the easiest for you will be to just engage us, because I hear the first time I was like, when we were thinking, how to identify this price gap. I think even agents will have difficulty doing this on the spot itself.
Yep.
Yeah, so
we actually spend a lot of time to think through and do the research and to come up with all these data for us to understand. Actually, if I want to buy lake view, if I want to buy 4-bedroom, I'm very clear I want to go for the high floor unit. Then here, 2-bedroom, I'm very clear what I want to go for. So it's very clear using this as a data, okay? So now we are going to do our top 2 choices for the 2-bedroom.
Yes.
Yep.
So for the top choice for investment purpose, it will be like what we said earlier, it will be the B2 layout. First, because of the very good entry price. If you remember, all the 2-bedroom are all facing HDB. And so this layout, like I said, this one we cater to own stay because we have window with good ventilation, we have got good size, all in all, we have a very good size unit for own stay, right? But of course, you are going for own stay, where we want the lake view. Where do we go? We go for the B3S layout, because if we recall earlier, the other B4 layout, there is actually the aircon ledge cutting into the balcony, which will obstruct your view, which defeats the purpose because you are actually already paying a premium for the lake view.
Yes,
right?
Correct. So 100 units, but we focus on these 2 stacks, stack 2 and 11, because what we are saying, they should have a lower price, but their view shouldn't be affected. So 211 is a focus point here. Here's 2021. Of course, for B2, there's only 2 stacks. So 2021 for investment, if you are buying for own stay use and you are thinking to sell as an own stay property in future, 211. But if you can, go for the higher floor, because just now we have seen the price gap between for Lake Garden is this strategy. But of course, you still need to check back for SORA what is the price strategy that you are seeing, because there might be different price that maybe the lake view is much more higher for the higher floor. So we have to see how they actually price it. So this one later on we will actually go through. Okay, so for 3-bedroom,
so let me give you an overview. For the 3-bedroom, we have got 5 different layouts, and all the 3-bedroom here are all facing the lake. There is no HDB facing, so in terms of the view, you are not compromised.
so very easy, all can buy.
No. So I'm going to share with you one thing. Okay, this is the first layout, which is the type C1. Okay. First thing, when we enter, you can see that the kitchen, there is no window, right? Which, to be frank, as an own stay, may not be so preferred because I do heavy cooking, etc. It's not very ideal. But of course, the good thing is this glass panel over here, which allow a good amount of light to come into the unit. Otherwise, right, if they say this is totally like a what's that called, wall, it'll be very dark, right? Because the kitchen itself already has no window, right? And then we have got a good size, proper size bedroom. But what I love most about this, all the 3-bedroom, is that all the wardrobe are very nicely tied to one corner. Means that if you go inside the master unit, right, master bedroom, right, you will think that it's actually very wide and it's very usable. But back to your question earlier about is it that all 3 bedroom can buy? Okay, what you notice here is that bedroom 2 and 3 there's an aircon latch in front. So what does this mean? Aircon latch means the window will be
half wall, high
half
chance.
height. Yeah, and what does this mean? You're paying for a lake view, but you don't get a lake view.
You don't get the full lake view, but of course your master, your balcony, your living will still get it. So the minus point is actually the I just highlight a few things. No window, not a good thing. Second, aircon latch here. No, seldom you see 3 bedroom have aircon latch in front, not a good thing. And this kitchen is not enclosed, it's enclosable. You need to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So not so good. But what is good? So we have to weigh. So what is good? First thing, flexi room that you can actually hack this wall, which means that you can have a very big dining area. Very rare for a 3 compact. Bear in mind, this is only 936 square feet. Second thing, the master size is huge. This master, later I show you the premium one, it should be very similar in terms of sizes between the compact and the premium. So which means that you're buying a compact, you get almost a premium master. Okay, so where do they cut their space? They actually have a smaller second toilet, which is not what we don't need a big one. I mean, you still have all the proper things that is inside. Okay, but you have your flexi that is important. So this is, I think, is a decent layout because I feel that it's quite a good layout. Of course, all layouts there's some pros and cons. But I think there's more pros and cons for this.
But one most important thing about this C1 unit type is that it's possibly the best entry price. Because this size, right, is 936, right? The next jump will be 1098. In terms of the quantum, if we take 2001 per square foot, it's about close to 300k differences. So people that are able to afford, or rather if you have budget constraint, very likely you will be going for C1 if you still want something for own stay, right? Okay, so right next,
we have the C3 and the C4, which you come with an additional study, but the placement of the study is not ideal. You look at here, the C1, which is the master quite big, C2 and C3 and C4 also the same size, but do you see that here is all wall? There's a small piece of window here. But later we show you C5, there's a lot of differences, and the study is actually inside here. So when the study is inside here, you cannot do much because you wouldn't want to go and hack this and extend your toilet. So the study there, the space is just like what we mentioned, a small study area, which is not so useful. But now we look at C5, the main difference is what? First thing, window here. The unit is definitely very bright. A lot of window because this is a corner unit, so they can afford to put more window. Second thing, a study that is right beside your living. So which means what? Which means that there will be people who want study. So the C3 and C4 will appeal to these people. Okay, but there will be a group of people who want landscape living room, which means the white living room, which means I play into the point of SORA, which is the very nice view, very wide view. I see everything. So if I do it this way, the selling point will actually be enhanced. But I do not want to compromise and say that those who need study, then it's their own problem. So this layout can cater to these two group of people. First is the people who want the wide frontage living room. Second group is the people who want a study, which is they are also looking at the C3 and C4. But you must remember, C3 and C4 only got this group of buyers. So let's say got 30 people who want study one, got 50 people who want wide frontage, you got total 80 people who's looking for unit, but for them only 30. So this is actually the main layout that we will be focusing on. And of course, you have the total unblocked view. So there's only 20 units. This is the 4 and 5. So you are actually holding the same exact place as the 4 and 5, which means that this is one of the most premium units in the whole of SORA. So 3 bedroom, this is one of the highlights. So now we are going to do a summary for you.
So, like I said earlier, for the budget constrained people, right, you will be going for C1, ideally going for C1 because your next jump to a 3-bedroom premium is about 300k differences based on 2001 PSF. So C1, okay? But when you have budget constraint, but you still need a study and a storeroom because these are things that you cannot compromise, you'll be going for C2, which is facing the lake.
But when you're going for C2, there's a few things that you need to take note. First, you can only go for stack 1 and 12. Let me go back to the site plan to show you. So why stack 1 and 12? Stack 1 and 12 is these two units. And this is the other 2 stacks. Because here is the 1195, C5. This is actually the C5 unit, these two. This is the 5 and the 4 bedroom. So 5 and the 4 is much bigger. So you can see the view of the master is being blocked here.
You see?
This one, if you are facing this unit, it's even worse. So here you will be blocked. But these 2 units are actually, to be frank, you high chance you won't be blocked much. So your focus point, why this unit? Because you have your storeroom, you have your bigger kitchen, but you are still buying at a lower price because you do not have the best facing. But I do not want to have this facing because here is almost half my unit is blocked. So my first 2 choice will still be the 1 and 12 first, because I will still have a almost unblocked view. So this is if you are budget constrained, but you need a study and a store, because this one versus this one, the price will be another 100 square feet, which is another 200,000 difference. Okay.
So this will be our top choice for a 3-bedroom. Let me re-emphasize, actually all the bathroom opens up when you have window, right? And then this study area, I think the main purpose is of course this study area where you can again cater to wider group of buyer, those who need a study or those who prefer a landscape living room. Okay, and this will ideally be the best choice. The next choice will be just now the C3 layout. Why? Because for the C3 layout, you can see that the only difference is actually with the foyer area. One is shorter and the other one is longer. But however, just now we forgot to mention something about the C3 and C4 is that the bathroom itself, one of the bathroom actually do not have the window. Yeah, so in terms of the overall preference, it will be budget constraint C1 and also C2. Non-budget constraint people, we have got C5, followed by C3 and then C4.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so this is all for the 3-bedroom. Now we are going into the 4-bedroom layout.
Yes. 4 and 5 in general only have one layout because only one stack.
They have 1, 5, 2, 8 and they have a very grand layout.
Yeah.
So, the only setback, of course, is the toilets. Not all the toilets will have window because of how they configure the layout. But of course, this is a layout that really plays into the heart of a lot of people here, because I would think that Jurong is a place that we do not have very grand and wide and nice layout, which this is actually what we are looking for. So first 2 things that we have: wide frontage living room, second private lift, which is very rare to see in Jurong area. Then you have your dry kitchen, everything. You have a proper wet kitchen, you have a second entrance, you know, here, all these things. So it's like really those grand and you feel good layout is like almost equivalent to a smaller landed. Yeah, you see the walk-in wardrobe here, then you have your junior master, everything you need for 4-bedroom. But we are going to go into some of the numbers in terms of the surrounding. So you can see here, these are the supply of a 4-bedroom in the whole of D22. So below 1,002 to 1,003 square feet, we have a total of 115 units. Why I only 115? Not say 4-bedroom, wide frontage layout 4-bedroom in the whole of Jurong. 1,002 to 1,003 square feet, only 115. 1,003 and above, there's 84 units in total. Okay, and 1,003 and above with private lift, only the new developments, which is Garden and Jayden. Because last time no one want all these things, but I would say moving forward, we wouldn't say that Jurong will move into places where people want privately, but there will be still a small group of people
who look for the comfort.
And the key thing, we do not have a lot. So I want to ask you, these people who buy all these private lift one, big frontage, wide frontage, big layout.
Yep.
Will they keep for own stay or will they sell?
Close to 100% own stay. So in fact, I think upon TOP, you may not even see a single unit for sale.
Yes.
Because I waited 4 years, and then I can finally move in. You ask me to sell. I think it's a bit not possible.
And I buy with the intention of moving in.
Yeah.
And with Jaden's sales, you know, Jurong got a lot of rich people. You know, 3-4 million they can just afford. So now we are going into the 5-bedroom layout. And later we are going to do a summary for you in terms of the 4 and 5 together.
Yep.
Okay, so this is the 5-bedroom. Same thing, wide frontage, just an additional bedroom they have facing the lake, 1679 square feet. Total units 18, same as the 4-bedroom, which is these two stack, the best facing stack, which is just now what I mentioned. So I do not think that there's anything that we can say that is not good, except some of the toilets got no window, that's all. And they have additional bedroom, there's a 5th bedroom. So 5-bedroom is very rare, not just in Jurong. In the whole of Singapore, there isn't a lot of condos with 5-bedroom.
Yep.
You want to find a 5-bedroom for sale today, you go property group, you can't find much. So now we come here. 5-bedroom with the wide frontage in the whole of Jurong. Lakefront, 2 units. Wow. Lakeview, 16 units. Lake Grandeur, 17 units.
Very
Total
little.
35.
Yeah.
5-bedroom with private lift, only 18 in Lake Garden. Nothing
Plus
else.
ours, another
36. So it's
super duper rare.
even I add everything together, I only got less than 70 plus units. But I take out only with the private lift one, I only got 36 units.
Correct.
Um,
So I think what most of us will be more curious, right, is that so what if there is very little units? So what if there is very little supply? How is it going to affect me? So over here, we're going to show you what happens when there is very little supply in a certain district for a certain unit type. So right now, let's go to Tampines. I mean, Tampines is a relatively huge estate also, right? HDB estate. Okay, Tampines itself, right? The entire Tampines, in terms of supply of 5-bedroom, you can see over here, only East Point Green,
8 units.
8 units. Then after that,
Don't
Treasure.
have that. Here all 4-bedroom.
The biggest in Manhattan or the other project, the biggest is 4-bedroom. So as you can see, the entire Tampines only currently
Treasure.
about 115 units, including Treasure at Tampines. So right now, with the limited supply and also nobody selling, like
And
what we
one
said
key
earlier.
thing, you see 110 unit, only 13 for sale. 13 some repeated listing. So the rest do what?
Keep and stay.
Can't find this type of unit in the
The
market.
good thing is that when you own a unit that is very limited in supply, you can choose to sell when you deem that there is demand.
Yep.
Okay, so let's take a look at Treasure at Tampines.
Wow.
Profit.
981,000, 600, 600, 600. Close one eyes also 600. The highest one 900 plus thousand.
Maybe soon 1 mil, above 1 mil.
Possible lah. That time when we want to buy, a lot of people tell us, you buy Tampines 5-bedroom sell to who? 2 million sell to who? You buy 2 million, you sell to who? Now this person sell 2.988. He bought 2.007.
Wow.
So you sell at $3 million. So can sell lah? Can. Because why? Because there is not much unit for sale. I wouldn't say Tampines will have plenty of buyers. They have 3 million budget, but I only need 5 to 10. But the
Correct.
5 to 10 have no units to buy. When they have no units to buy, they do what? They pay you an additional price for it. Correct or not? So now we look into another area, which is Jadescape.
Marymount area,
Oh.
right? So Jadescape itself, again, if you can see, the only project maybe have 5-bedroom is Xinmin
Here
Plaza.
don't have.
I've never been
don't
there.
Don't have.
The next one will be
Jadescape, 39 units. Only 4 for sale.
One concern that time was that with the same price, I can also buy a land there.
Jadescape purchase price was about 3.5 million.
Who will buy?
So how to sell? How much Jadescape make? Let's see, 3.428 million. So at 4.55 million, 1.122 million profits. 4.55 Marymount can buy landed there. No?
100%.
Can easily buy Inter Terrace brand new. Oh, now we see. So because we will be thinking, can buy Inter Terrace. Why will people want to buy condo, right? But we see here, Jadescape 4.55 million. Oh yo, Inter Terrace freehold sold at 3.4 million. Inter Terrace freehold land size here sold at 4.338 million. When? 2023, 2024. So you see, there's still a group of people that I want
Lazy to
condo
do maintenance one, right? Lazy
don't
to
like
maintain.
landed one. Have you seen people who hate landed one? I have seen people, they say, very lonely, very big, very scary, all these things. But there's still this group of people who want a big space.
Interesting.
And they will pay 4.55 million. So you see here 3.4 million, 4.338 million. Why there's a price difference? Because some landed might be run down. So let's say here 3.4 million, 2,000 square feet. I presume this is a unit that need to redo one. So let's say they spend 1 million or 1.2 million to redo. Their cost 4.6 million. They get a 2,000 land size freehold landed, brand new. Then this one, 1680 square feet at this per square foot, I presume this is already a brand new unit. So this is the land size, which means their built up can be easily 3,000-4,000 square feet. And they are freehold. Same price as leasehold jetscape.
People who buy for own stay is really damn emotional.
Yeah, I mean that's true. But what I'm trying to say is, the demand might not be high for this type of prices. Today you buy SORA, 5-bedroom, 3 over million, can you sell 4+? Demand might not be high, you will not have a lot of buyers. But I only need one good buyer. Why? Because I do not have units for sale. If that buyer want to buy, they have to buy from us. So the 4-5-bedroom strategy is what? You cannot have the strategy I want to sell when I TOP. Not easy, because but you must be having the financing power to finance it, and which means that the house is empty, you keep financing, okay? Because I want to sell after TOP. So you must have a plan that you want to, how long can I finance? So it's better that you have a situation where I move in, then maybe 1-2 years later, I think I want to sell, I slowly sell, I sell for 6 months, 9 months, I'm not stressed, slowly sell. Because the buyers will come out, because there's no unit for sale. But you wait for the buyer, sometimes, if you're lucky, maybe they come very fast. Sometimes you wait a bit longer. So you must approach with the approach of, I'm okay
Holding
to
power.
hold. That's important for 4-5 years. So if you can stay while sell, that's the best. Okay?
Actually, initially I was thinking, for private leave, is Jurong really an estate that people would appreciate private leave? Because most of the project that we see with private leave, can I say it's mainly in town area? Yeah, so I think this is also something that we want to look into, and hence we were thinking, is it really good to have private leave?
Private leave got its pros and cons. Why there's pros and cons? Pros is, of course, is quite shock but whether people appreciate is another thing, correct? But for SORA and Lake Garden, the private leave is only for the bigger units. So we have a case study here, which is Mayfair. They have a full project that is almost all private leave one. So this is one that I've been to, and I do not have very good impression. Why? Because when I go there, it's a bit old. The private leave all spoiled already. So you know what we must do? I must call my owner, right? Then I say, I reaching your house, I press the lift, I go in, he on top press. So what is the difference between Lake Garden, SORA and Mayfair? So what I'm trying to say, private leave, if have and you do not pay a lot more, it's definitely good. If in the case study of Mayfair, only 1 bedroom do not have private leave, which is these 2 stacks, the rest 2 to 4 bedroom all come with private leave. If all come with private leave means what? Means that you will have a lot of private leave, because 2 units will share one. So total of 13 private leave excluding common leave.
Means the leave itself, got 2 doors. Two sides.
Two sides. So sometimes can open wrongly because the private leave spoiled.
And the maintenance cost must be quite tall.
That's why I say there's setback for private leave. If it's 13 private leave plus here got 4 common leave, total 17 leave. Let's say your property reach 10-20 years old, then there will be a very big problem in terms of maintenance. Okay, why they never repair the lift? Because it's very costly to change all 17 lifts together. I would say a lot of owners might not want, especially a 1 bedroom. Why would I want to do it, right? So the sinking fund might not be able to support this. So if you have a full project of private lift, it's a big problem. Do not buy a project that's full private lift. But if your project is only selected stack and you know there isn't a lot of private lift, then that's fine. Like example for SORA, right? There's only 2 private lift plus each block got 2 lifts, so total of 8 lifts, total of 10. So you see almost half the lift the numbers. Here's 10, here's 17. So in terms of repair, maintenance. If your private lift all spoiled, then it isn't a good thing. So I think this is definitely much more easy to maintain. Okay, coming back to just now. So you look at Mayfair, you can see that, you see the price, even the 4-bedroom. The highest
cheap,
done is 1.68. Why the price cannot push up? And you see average is about 1.4, 1.5 for 4-bedroom. Why cannot push up? Because I tell you, if you got chance, visit it. You don't feel that it's grand. You don't feel that, I have to pay that kind of price. That is the most important thing when I'm buying own estate property. I go in, I need to feel that I can pay this price, I feel is damn worthy. So summary, in terms of coming back to just now I mentioned to you about maintenance. So the maintenance for SORA is quite high, on the higher side. 3-bedroom is 530 lah.
600.
Just now we talk about maintenance fee, which is the maintenance of Mayfair, which also caused the price of the property not to appreciate much. 4-bedroom at 1.4, 1.5 million, I think is quite low for this region. So why is it happening? Because first thing, the private lift is not settled. Second thing is why it's like that, because there's not enough maintenance fee or sinking fund
to help cover
the property. So if you go to a lot of properties that is even old, they still can sell at a very good price. It's usually very well maintained properties. I mean, this is a fact that we have to see. You go resale, you know. Sometimes you see 10, 15 years old still look like quite new. So why? Because maintenance fee is well managed. Sometimes we will overpromise giving very low maintenance. That's why I say, of course, nobody want to pay more, right? But I pay more. Then I get a very well-maintained unit. 5 years, 8 years later, I sell. It's still a very good condition. I still get what I want in terms of prices. Then why not? But now we also have to break it down into the numbers. So 530, which is the maintenance fee, we take an average of the projects mostly now is, let's say 330, fair or not, for a 3-bedroom. So we are overpaying by $200, which is, if we multiply 1 year is 2,400. So let's say I stay there for 5 years. How much? Times 60 is $12,000 that I'm paying more for the maintenance. So we have to think, $12,000 more, but I get a very, very, very well maintained unit project for 5 years to elevate my sales price. Easily more than 12,000, and I still get a very nice place to actually use. I mean, if thinking about that, then why not? Okay, so
I guess we don't want to be like another Mayfair where 4-bedroom 1.7 is very cheap.
I would say SORA is slightly on the higher side in terms of maintenance fee, but if you break it down into months, into years, actually it's not a huge amount, because 5 years for 12,000.
Easily covering the resale.
You will make more if the project is well maintained. Okay, so of course, this is what we have done for SORA. If you want to understand more, if you have some things that you want us to cover and we did not cover today, we try to cover as much as possible. Just drop a message in the YouTube chat box, then we will see what we can do and we can reply to you. The launch is when?
22nd June.
It's the preview. The first day you can start to view the show flat. So if you want to view the show flat, you can reach out to either one of us. If not, I will definitely see you there because I will be at SORA most of the time. Okay.
I will see you there as well because I will be bringing you there. So see you next time. Bye.
Okay, see you. Bye-bye.